Yeah. Uh-huh. 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 Yeah. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Yeah. Uh-huh. 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 Yeah. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Yeah.
Well, good afternoon, good afternoon, good afternoon. I hope you all can hear me. I'm trying to make sure all of my system is up and operating here. Let me know if you can hear me out there in the chat. I'm looking and I'm checking out, and I appreciate everybody that's here on today. I see you, Sheila. Good afternoon to you. Stacy 546, I see you. Are you able to hear me okay? Let me know if the sound is coming through clearly and loud enough. Sound is good. Thank you, Stacy. I appreciate you all so much, and thank you and welcome to Waking the Lions. That's what this broadcast stream is. I know I had Yes You playing, but as many of you know, I'm in Kansas City. I'm not in my studio. And I want to give a good shout out to the Rebel Inc. who made the links possible. BTD Mom, I see you, sis. So much love coming to you, and it's good to see you. Main Man 68, there's my guy. I love you so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you for coming in. So much love coming to you. Now, I am not, as I said, in my studio. As you can obviously tell, I am here in Kansas City, and SK8843 is hosting me right now in her home, for which I am so grateful for. But listen, I just wanted to come in. I had a beautiful time, and I want to say thank you to everybody that tuned in to Zion Travelers this morning. Main Man, I know you checked in. Main Man 68. Jonna actually came to the church, and I appreciate Jonna CPW. It was just so good to see her. Service was going on. It was a marvelous service. I looked up, and who did I see but Jonna CPW sitting back there on that pew, and it just did my heart so much good. And I appreciate you for that. I thank you all for coming in. I said I may not be a long time today, but then I chuckled to myself because I said, you know, every time I say I'm just going to be here for a hot second, it seems like I actually end up going longer. So I hope that's not going to be the case today. I'm going to kind of chill and relax. I've got an appointment first thing in the morning, and then I will be back on the highway. So I'm trying to conserve and reserve a little of my energy. Had a beautiful trip. I have fallen in love with the highway. I'm telling you what, it's your Saturday. I got you, Stacy 546. It's your Saturday. It is Sunday for me, and it was a blessed day all day long. I left from Zion Travelers after having a marvelous time there, and went back to visit with Pastor Pete Pulliam. Come on, MCP 812. Come on in here every time, every time. I'm trying to tell you. I'm trying to tell you. Good afternoon to you, and so much love coming to you. I I wanted to come on today because I'm just full. I really, really am. God is opening. We are under an open heaven. I keep saying that. That song blesses me, but it's just not the words and the lyrics to a song. It's a true reality to where we are right now. We are under an open heaven. That's not just for me, but that's for each one of you. And today, as I shared in the session in Kansas City, Kansas. The word that the Lord gave me to give came from Second Chronicles 7:14. If my people, which are called by my name, would humble themselves and pray and seek my face and turn from their wicked ways, then would I hear from heaven and forgive their sin and heal the land. And I talked from that idea of wicked ways. And just like you think about a wicker chair, it's a matter of taking all those wires, ropes, vines, and intertwining them all together, taking that and plaiting it to plait it together, and our wicked ways. I talked about that again, not from the standpoint of where people like to go and really get caught up with traditional sin. Come on here, New York Cheesecake. Come on in here. So good to see you, and love, love, love. Thank you for lurking, and it's okay. I appreciate you just for lurking and being here. But as I said to them, it's not just a matter of the traditional way that we like to teach your wicked ways, and being caught up and entangled and plaited together and intertwined with your wicked ways. But I approached it this morning, and I want to share with you this afternoon, but I'm not going to re-preach this morning's text. I just want to share the context from which I came. The idea of wicked ways. The Lord spoke to me a long time ago. Thank you for hosting the channel, New York Cheesecake. I appreciate you so much. The Lord spoke to me a long time ago. And there's so many of us, we're not going to get out and be caught up in breaking the 10 commandments and, all of the types of things that people want to think of when they say wicked ways. The Spirit said to me a long time ago, there are people that love God, that are saved, sanctified, filled with the Holy Ghost. If you come from that traditional background and belief system, and all the other things that we want to identify to say, I'm holy and I'm living holy, there are a lot of people that still have wicked ways. And when I looked at wicked ways, my spirit said to me, listen, evil, EVIL, is LIVE backwards. I'm going to say that again. EVIL is LIVE backwards. And so I want you to understand, when I talk about your wicked ways, I'm talking about for those that are still thinking and looking backwards. And I promise you, there are a lot, many, many, many people that really love God, that really have a relationship with God. I'm not taking that away in any way, shape, or form, but they're still living backwards. So, spiritual thought leader, when you say living backwards, what are you implying? When you don't understand that you're the head and not the tail, you're living backwards. You understand? When you don't understand above only and not beneath, you're living backwards. When you don't understand becoming the lenders and not the borrowers, you're living backwards. When you have this mentality that doesn't realize that your blessings will overtake you, as Deuteronomy says, you're living backwards. When you don't realize, and again, that you're under an open heaven, and that eyes haven't seen, ears haven't heard, it hasn't even entered into your heart the good things that God has for you, you're still living backwards. When you don't understand that when Jeremiah began to speak and begin to prophesy, I know my thoughts, said the Lord, concerning you. thoughts of good and not of evil, to give you a desired and expected, an awesome, a successful end. If you don't understand that, you're living backwards. And so, again, if my people, which are called by my name, would just humble themselves and turn from your wicked or your evil, your evil, which is live backwards. If you would turn from that, and so my thought today was looking forward, living forward. Looking forward, living forward. I want you in these days and times to be looking forward and living forward. I want you to do all of that. Turn from your wicked ways. Turn evil into live. Can you do that for me? Turn evil into live. Turn from your wicked ways. So as I brought the word and shared with them this morning, looking forward and living forward, I want you to embrace that thought. Now, this is the way I want to bring it to the Lion's Den, because you all are a little bit different, because you've been here with me for some time, many of you. Some of you may have just found me recently. But listen, the Lion's Den, this pride, Pride, this pride of lions is relentless, and you're going to hear us roar. We're not doing the black sheep. Have you any wool? Yes, sir. Yes, sir. 3 bags full. One for my master, one for my dame, one for the little boy lives down the lane. We're not living backwards with that mentality. We're not living backwards with that ideology. We're not living backwards with that theology. We are lions. And that's exactly why we have named this stream at 2 o'clock, Waking the Lions, because I'm not here to wake up sheep. That's not my call. And there are people that's their calling, and I am not belittling them. I'm not putting them down. I'm not saying that I'm better than them or anything of that nature. What I'm saying, come on, One Reason, I see you in the room. This is the Bishop of Twitch. He's in here. Shelly Thunder, come on in here. You're in the room. I see you. Come on in. I hear the lightning flash. I hear the thunder roaring. Shelly Thunder is here. So I want you to understand, when I'm talking from this premise, if my people, which are called by my name, would humble themselves and seek my face. And we're not looking for what's in God's hand. God will give us what's in his hand if we seek his face. Hear me when I say that. God will give us everything that's in his hand when we seek his face. Seek his face and not his hand. And so listen, even in the word, if you understand, seek ye first the kingdom of God and God's righteousness, and all these other things will be added unto you. And listen, I want you to, again, embrace the idea and the mentality that as I move out and I'm no longer evil, I'm going to turn that thing around and make it live. Again, I'm no longer evil. I've turned that thing around and it's live. And we're living over here in the Lion's Den. I broke out in a little bit of song, and they raised their eyebrows at me a little bit this morning, because I said, we like to party. We like to party. I said, for the folks that are dead and drab and mad and angry and judgmental and want to holler and scream, listen, I'm looking for the folks where they're saying we like to party, because why? We don't just have life, we have life more abundantly. Last week, I encouraged you all to be very intentional in where you are in this day and season and time, because with intention, if it's not, again, falling within the scope of what it is your purpose, your passion, whatever that is, I want you to continuously and intentionally choose the things that drive you towards your purpose and your passion. So we talked about that on last week. And again, this week, this morning's sermon at the church was look forward, live forward. Look forward, live forward. I want you to live forward. Now, I want to say this here in the Lion's Den, because I got to come from a little bit different angle. That's just a recap of what we talked about this morning. What does that mean for you here in the Lion's Den? What does that mean for those of you that have been here listening and absorbing and soaking this up by osmosis or any other way that you've been getting it, but you've been getting it? I want to say to you, the Lion's Den, and hear me when I say this, and I feel like all day long I've been in my apostolic. You know, the apostolic is to forge new paths, to boldly go where nowhere man has gone before, no woman has gone before, to boldly go and cut new trails, to be trailblazers. But it's also to set in order. So I felt my apostolic on me very heavily today. And so even in the lion's den, I want you to understand this. And so I'm speaking, I'm not going to get, I don't think I'm going to get riled up and all of that, but I had to share this word from the Lord with you. For those of you that come continuously and sit in the lion's den, I want you to understand the lion's den is not just a place, but the lion's den is a whole movement. Do you understand what I'm saying? The lion's den is not just a place and a space, but the lion's den is a whole entire movement. Come on with that, SK 8843. Look forward, live forward. That's the word that I'm preaching and teaching on today. And turn that thing around, EVIL, and turn that thing on its ear. Turn from your wicked ways and make EVIL LIVE. Now, that being said, while I was talking to them, again, not from sin consciousness, but again, if you don't understand I'm the head and not the tail, you're living backwards. If you don't understand that you're above only and not beneath, you're living backwards. If you don't understand that you're designed and intended to be the lender and not the borrower, you're living backwards. Are you hearing me? If you don't understand that your blessings are supposed to overtake you and you are under an open heaven, you're living backwards. I'm not even talking to you from that direction. I hope you soak that in real quick, fast, and in a hurry. If you needed to be reminded of that on today, so be it. But this is what I want to speak to the lion's den, because the lion's den is not just a space and a place. The lion's den is a whole entire movement. Now, that being said, I want you to calibrate and recalibrate your thinking. I want you to recalibrate your thinking into understanding. Those of you that come into the lion's den and those of you that feel the calling to be present in this space, it's because you are a leader in this movement. And I'm going to say that again. For those of you that feel the pull and the tug and the desire to be here in the lion's den, it's because you are a part of the movement. Now, understand when I say that, I'm not trying to say, oh, you got to join my ministry or whatever. That's not where I'm at. But this is what I'm understanding in this hour. Those that are called by God's name, and I'm going to say this as I said to them this morning, God's name is not the denominational shingle that's hanging on your church, beloved. God's name is not your particular faith group and your faith traditions. That is not God's name. Listen, when the word says, by this shall all men know that you're my disciples, how you have love one towards another. When I see people that are moving and operating in the pure agape, the pure love of God, I know there's a lion and I'm attached to them. When I see somebody that speaks life and not death, I know I'm attached to them. When I encounter somebody that is moving in the place of the prophetic and moving in the place of bringing into the earth those things that God brought you into this earth to bring into this earth, when I encounter those types of people, I know I'm with my folk. I tell people all the time, for those that like X-Men, which I'm a lover of X-Men, Matrix, all that kind of stuff. Some folk are like, nah, I can't get with it. I love it because, listen, when I watch it, I see and I hear so much prophetic. While other folk, y'all remember when the Bible talks about there was thunder and some people just heard thunder, but Paul heard the voice of God speaking. Understand that there are going to be places and times in your lives when everybody else is hearing thunder and you're going to hear God speaking, because that's your prophetic place. You hear and understand the voice of the Lord speaking to you. I feel like even when I talk about X-Men and Matrix and things like that, I'm a Trekkie, something about, and I'm an original Trekkie. I don't know about all them new versions, but an original Trekkie, because I see the forward. I'm not just talking forward. I'm not just looking forward. I'm living forward. I love it because it speaks to the future. It speaks to where we're going. It speaks to what will be, what shall be. And as we've been saying here in the Lion's Den for a long time, it's happening. We are the ING crowd, not the in crowd, the ING crowd, because it's happening. I get excited when I see those things because it's forward looking and forward thinking. I like people that are forward thinkers. So when I saw and got all of the trilogy of X-Men and then a little extra with it, I tell people all the time, I am Xavier. I'm Professor Xavier because I can sense other mutants' powers. I can come in the lion's den and I can encounter you all and I get excited about your future. Why? Because I sense your mutant powers, if I can put it like that. I sense the anointing that's on your lives. I sense where you're oily. I told one of the brothers yet today, he's bald headed and clean shaven. And I told him, listen, but this boy is oily, just like Aaron. He's a musician, but he's not just a musician. God's hand is on him prophetically. God's hand is on him where when he plays, the power of God, just like Rebel, the power of God flows through him as an anointed minstrel of God to play and bring forth and usher in the spirit. He just does it on the instrument. And while he was playing today, it got so oily in there. Honey, boldly, come on in here. Boldly, one reason. I love you. And listen, one reason I'm going to try to get through today without speaking into y'all. But listen, one reason, if I tell you once, I'll tell you a million times. It's not by accident that you are in the lion's den, because I am connected to you, sir. And at the end of the day, you are a leader. And that's what I'm saying to each of you that are in here today. You're drawn to this because you, yes, you are a leader in this movement. The lion's den is not just a space and a place. The lion's den is a whole entire vibe. You understand what I'm saying? It's a whole entire movement where we're going to boldly go where no man has gone before. So as I look and I say, I'm Professor X, because I sense that oiliness that's on each of you. Shelly Thunder, come on here. I'm looking and I'm checking it out. Stacy 546, SK 8843, Main Man 68, BTD Mom. Come on in here. The Rebel Inc. Shelly Thunder. I sense the oiliness that's on you all. The oil is on you. And as I said, I was talking to the young man. He is so gifted and talented, but it's not just gift and talents in this hour. It's about the oil. Hear me when I say it's about the oil that's dripping off of your lives. And I can sense mutant powers. And so I looked at him with his bald-headed, clean-shaven self, and I told him, I said, listen, honey, with your clean-shaven, bald-headed self, the oil on your beard has ran down your beard and even down your priestly garments. And next thing I knew, the drummer jumped up and started shouting. The drummer jumped up and started praising God. The drummer who came here with deformities and challenges. The drummer who came here and they said he wasn't going to live. The drummer that they had all kind of negative words to say about him and his ability to learn. The drummer was flowing from the oil that was coming from brother's beard. Yes, with his bald-headed self, his beard, his spiritual beard was still flowing in the oil, because I'm telling you, he began to prophetically play on that organ and the power of God got loose in the building. I told him it took everything in me to hold my peace and hold my mule and sit there without just losing my mind and going crazy just from my storage is empty. Hey, and I feel something, and I feel something. I feel something turning. I said I wasn't going to do it. But I feel something turning. My storage is empty. And I am available. I'm telling you, my storage is empty. And I am available to you. Woo! And baby, I mean to tell you, the longer he went forth in that, and the oilier, that room, yes, I said oily. Yes, that's what I'm talking about, the anointing, oily folk. The more the oil began to flow in the house, I'm like, listen, he done greased the rails. I'm ready to go right now. Y'all don't have to wait another further, because I'm ready to slide right on down those rails, because baby, when I begin to hear my storage is empty. Come on here, John CPW. And I am available. And this is what I want you all to understand. It's not about all of the churchiness. It's not about all the trappings of old. I'm trying to hold this phone and talk at the same time, but my hand wants to do something else. My hand wants to go up. Oh my God. My hand, I feel something in here. At the end of the day, some of you all, and you're saying me, and I'm saying you. Yes, you. All God needed was your empty storage. All God needed, and some of y'all been, listen, I've been trying to fill it up. I've been trying to fill it up. I've been trying to fill it up with education. I've been trying to fill it up with this. I've been trying to fill, listen, the Lord said, I don't need none of that from y'all. All I need is for your storage to be empty and for you to be available to me. And I want you to hear what I'm saying. You're drawn to this because this, as I said, this is not just a space and a place. This is a whole entire movement, beloved. And you're drawn here because you are a leader in the movement that God has on the face of the earth right now. I'm going to tell you, you're going to begin to see all kind of ministries fall. You're going to begin to see all kind of churches fold and close their doors. And I'm not trying to speak some kind of word of gloom and doom. No, that's not where I'm going. But this is the thing. The Lord said, I'm getting ready to raise up folk just like you all in the lion's den. You may be a sordid bunch. You might be righteous and you might be ratchet. I don't care about any of that. At the end of the day, I'm just looking for folks that can really honestly, purely, and sincerely say from their hearts, my storage is empty and I am available to you, God. And you're going to find that God's going to push you out in a place of leadership because all of these spiritual calisthenics, all of these different things, all these rules and regulations, all of these denominational things. Listen, God said, I ain't in that. I'm just getting some folk that just love me. I'm just getting some folk that really know me. And I'm just getting some folk that are not all hotty-toddy and self-righteous and judgmental. He said, I'm just getting some folk that understand that at the end of the day, I don't care how holy and righteous you try to be, your righteousness is still as filthy rags. I'm just trying to get some folk that will absolutely come to me in a state, I'm not all of this and I'm not all of that, but my storage is empty. And anytime you flow through me, I'm available. Anytime you speak through me, I'm available. Anytime you work through me, I'm available. Anytime you send me, I'm available. Anytime you tell me to go, I'm available. Are you hearing me? Anytime you say pray for somebody, I'm available. Anytime you tell me lift this brother up, lift this sister up, I'm available. Anytime, oh my God, that you will just with your empty self make yourself available unto him. God said, I'm getting ready to show up and show out. I'm getting ready to do some things that you ain't never seen before. All you got to do is be the pipeline and be available. Now, let me talk a little bit more about this pipeline. I'm here right now and I'm talking to leaders. I'm going to say it again. I'm talking to leaders. You're here today because you are a leader of this movement that is going to change the world. Let me talk about this pipeline. You know what? I'm reminded of the parable of a story they told, and I heard it years ago, and it's always stayed with me. They said down here in Texas, and I'm a witness, you're not going to find basements and all of that here. What you're going to find is they're going to build and go up. Well, the preacher said, this was his testimony, that his church had a flat roof. And they had a season, oddly enough, that year where it just rained and it rained and it flooded and it flooded. And he said he got up there and he began to look at how he could. He said, oh my God, if we don't do something, this roof is about to collapse. I see you, DJ Leo the Great. Come on in here. He said, if I don't do something, and he is a streamer, y'all follow him. He'll bless your whole life. He said, if I don't do something, this roof is about to collapse. So he called the people, and as they were en route to his place, he said him and his little janitor got up on the roof with buckets and started trying to bail the water off the top of that flat roof. And they realized we are actually in danger because first and foremost, if this roof collapses, we're going to collapse right with the roof. And yet and still they're up there with their buckets, and the buckets, if I can go ahead and break this off for you, represents works. The buckets represent works where you up there bailing, you try to do everything you can to save the building, save the roof, but I'm trying to tell you, you can't save the building and you can't save the roof on your own with no little bucket. Your works are still going to be, your righteousness is still going to be nothing more than filthy rags. So he said when the engineers and the technicians finally arrived, what they did spoke volumes to him. And he realized how little his little works were. And he said what they did not try to suck the water off of that flat roof building. He said what they did all involved positioning. Hear me when I say this, because I'm saying something. It all built and was around positioning. So then at the end of the day, what did they do? They took and made a funnel. They took and made a channel. They took and made a conduit, if you will. They took that and allowed that. They positioned it so that the water would run through that conduit. And that water ran through that conduit. And instead of losing that multi-million-dollar building to the water, that they were up there with buckets trying to bail water off the top of the roof. They were up there with works, baby. They were working and sweating and endangering their lives, trying to get the works to get it done, to preserve that they could not preserve by works, and endangering themselves in the process. But what they needed was that funnel. What they needed was that pipeline. What they needed was that conduit placed in the right position. And he said, and in no time flat, after they positioned that conduit and it began to drain, before you know it, the whole roof was drained off and the whole multi-million-dollar building was saved. Now, what are you saying, spiritual thought leader? I want you to get the full of that, and I want you to get it in its greatest impact. Baby, your works and all of your trying and all of your trying to make it happen and all of your legalism and all of your denominationalism and all of your other stuff that you're trying to do and you're trying to be and you're trying to have, you like those men on that roof with those buckets. And at the end of the day, not only is your labor futile, but you're putting your life in jeopardy trying to do all these works. That's why you're tired. That's why you're burnt out. That's why you can't sleep. That's why you can't rest. That's why you're a nervous wreck. That's why you're just stressed out and just can't from one moment to, baby, I need you to hear me when I say, all you need to do is get that conduit, get that flow, get that conduit and that channel in the right position. And at the end of the day, this is what I say, the conduit didn't work. All the conduit had to do was get in position. The conduit didn't do a thing but just get there and get in position and let the waters flow. Let the process go through them. That's all it had to do. And that's what I'm saying to you as leaders here on today. I want you to keep understanding, baby, let your storage be empty, because baby, if it gets clogged up, if you get clogged up and bogged up, we can't get the flow that we need. Keep that storage empty. But I do need you to get in position. I do need you to get in the right place. I do need you to find that place and just be still. Be still and know that I am God. Be still and know that God will do it through you. Be still and know that God will allow you to be that conduit. And you may not have the education. You may not have the money. You may not have this, that, and the other that you think disqualifies you. Oh, but you can get in position. position. Oh, you can have an empty storage. You can get in position and just be there in place and let the power flow through you. Let the anointing flow through you. Let the ministry flow through you. Am I talking to anybody? All you got to do is get in position and stay there. Be still and know that I am God. I will be exalted among the nations. I will be exalted in all the earth. The Lord of hosts is with you. The God of Jacob is your refuge. All you gotta do is get in position. My storage is empty and I am available. Oh, am I talking to anybody? My storage is empty. Woo! Why am I empty? Because at the end of the day, I'm a conduit. At the end of the day, I'm a channel through. Am I talking to anybody? At the end of the day, I'm a channel through. Yeah. I'm a channel through. Woo! And if I'm in right position, that multi-million-dollar building, that multi-million-dollar vision, that multi-million, I'm talking multi-millions, y'all. I'm talking to y'all. That God has for you and possibly for others. Because it's not just you that God is saying you're a leader in this hour. It's not just for you. It's not for me, myself, I, and mine. It's for you and somebody else too. And the more you understand, I'm a leader in this thing. And so when I talked today to the congregation and I shared with them relative to, yes, what are your wicked ways? What's EVIL, LIVE backwards? I want you to understand, while I might be talking to them about Deuteronomy 28, in the lion's den, I'm talking to you about leadership. Because you are called and chosen for this hour. For such a time as this, you've been called into the kingdom. While all of these other things that we see are going to start failing and falling by the wayside. Why? Because it's not transparent, because it's not real, because it's not true, because it's not honest. Are you hearing me? Because there's some kind of game attached to it. No, those days are over. As far as the power and the manifestation of the power. I said this the other day. I've said it a few days in a row. All churches are not ministry and all ministries are not churches. Hear me, because some leaders in here, you need to understand this. All churches are not ministries and all ministries are not churches. The ministry, the anointing, the entrepreneurship, the business that God may have called you to may not be the ministry of a church, but it's a ministry nonetheless. And you're called to lead in this hour. If we ask, come on here, main man, if we ask, woo, what am I here for? What's my purpose? My passion? Why have you put this in me, God? It's for you to bring it forth. If God gave you a dream, understand that dream was God-given. Move in it. Do not doubt. Don't be discouraged. Don't be downcast. And yes, I want you to know, to every success story, you're going to always hear somebody that had a failure along the way. But failure is only real failure when you don't know to get up and keep going. When you don't know to get up and keep moving, that's the only time you're going to fail. But with every success story, I promise you, there are places and times when things didn't go the way they thought it was going to go. And things didn't happen the way that you thought things were going to happen. But at the end of the day, God's grace is sufficient for you. Am I talking to anybody? God's grace and his hand is on you. I just need you to keep moving. I just need you to keep moving and keep on saying, my storage is empty. And God, I'm available to you. You called me to lead this. You called me to do this. And some of you all are just like Aaron. Aaron, when God called Moses, and Moses, okay, Aaron, let's go. I can't talk, or actually Moses, I can't talk. I'm slow of speech. I'm just like, baby, I'm going to send Aaron with you so he can talk for you. Baby, stop telling God what you don't have and what you can't do and what you are not. I just need you to say, my storage is empty and I'm available to you. Am I talking to anybody? But I do need you to get up and leave. And why am I bringing this into the lion's den? Because some of you, and I'm getting ready to get out of here today, some of you are wicked in this. You know that God has called you. Come on with that, main man. Your setback is a setup to set it off. Y'all already know. Your setback is a setup to set it off. That's all it is. It's your launch pad, the rubber band effect. Woo. This is why, for some of you, I want you to embrace this word today, because many of you know and you feel and you sense the pushing God in your back. God been pushing you in your back. Go forward, go forward, go forward. And you doing the Fred Flintstone breaks. You know how his feet came down through the bottom of the automobile and they're, that's what you've been doing that with God. And you've been feeling that, push, 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 push. And yes, for some of you, you know God is saying, yeah, you've been accustomed, you've been accommodating back here in the back row, in the back, the very last row, the last section of the building. But the Lord is saying the very last row and the last section of the building is not where you belong. What did I say? How did they drain that water off the roof and save the building? Not from works. Some of you all will be in the wrong position and work yourself into oblivion and then wonder why the results are zero, because it's not about your works, number one, but it is about your positioning and getting in your position and staying there. Am I talking to anybody? Get in your position and stay there. So I'm telling some of you today that you've been trying to hang out in that last row, on that last pew, and the Spirit is saying to you, no, ma'am, no, sir, that's not your position. That is not your placement. That is not where you belong. And you know, and listen, this isn't a matter of you worrying about, well, I don't want people to think that I'm trying to push myself up there. Baby, I need y'all to stop and deliver yourself from the expectation of the people. Who cares what the people think? If God called you to this spot and position right here, move into it. I don't care what nobody says. But I really need you to talk to yourself, because some of you all are not struggling and battling the people. Some of you are struggling and battling your own selves, your own thoughts, your own mind, your own low thinking. And it's wickedness. It's EVIL, because you're living backwards. Am I talking to anybody in here? But if my people, which are called by my name, and you are, would just go ahead and humble yourself. God, this is what you called me to do. This is the place you want me to be. This is the role you want me to have. This is the way you want me to flow. Get in position. Get in position. Get in position and stay there. Stop all this negative self-talk. Stop the defeatism. Stop. I'm unworthy. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. Please stop it. Please stop it. Please, 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 please stop it. God has given you everything that pertains to life and godliness. Everything that you need. With every vision comes the provision. Am I talking to anybody? I just need you to empty your storage. Empty it. Empty out all of that stinking thinking. Empty your storage. Empty your brain. Empty your spirit. Empty your emotions of all that negativity. All of that causes you to live and think backwards. and I'm out of here, but I want you to hear this, because again, this is the word in the lion's den. I shared what I shared with the ministry this morning, but what am I sharing to you here is the word of the Lord to you here in the lion's den. You are leaders. You are leaders that have been called for this movement, and it's new and it's happening. ING. We're not the in crowd, it's the in crowd, because it's happening. Some of you need to break free, empty your storage, that there's a mentality of lack. Empty your storage of this idea of not enough. Empty your storage of this idea of struggle. Empty your storage. Am I talking to anybody? Of failure, and that the way won't be made. And how am I going to do it? And where's it going to come from? Baby, I just need you to put one foot in front of the other and believe God. Find your position, get in your position, and then anchor down. Am I talking to anybody? Find your position, get in your position, and then anchor down. You're here in the lion's den because you, yes, you are a leader in this moment, in this hour. And eyes haven't seen, ears haven't heard. It hasn't even entered into your heart. The awesome things, the phenomenal things, the beautiful things, the wondrous things that God has in store for you. When we keep saying miracles, hey, signs and wonders over your life, I mean that thing. I mean that with the fierceness. Miracles, signs, and wonders over your lives. And you are under an open heaven. Now, beloved, move. Take the mantle of leadership. Stop fighting with yourself. Stop fighting with God. Take the mantle of leadership. And right away I heard somebody, oh, but I've been this is a place I've been all these years, and I like it. What? No, that's not your spot. That's not your place. Take the mantle of leadership. Come on, MCP 812. Miracles, signs, and wonders. Now, sis, take that mantle of leadership that is on you, because it's on you. Take the mantle of leadership and get in position, main man. Come on. This word is for you. You are a leader in this movement. And I can't say it enough. The lion's den isn't just a space and a place. The lion's den is a whole movement. And you are a leader in this movement. Now take this mantle of leadership. And I said to the ones that are speaking to me, some of y'all done, I hear crickets, because some of y'all are embroiled in a battle right now in your mind. Because who, me? I must have came in on the wrong. No, you're in the right place at the right time, on the right channel, on the right station, on the right frequency. I'm talking to you. Yes, you. You're here because you are a leader in this movement that is breaking out on the earth. And we're getting ready to see in the last day, saith God, I'm getting ready to pour out my spirit on all flesh, on all flesh, all flesh. Some of y'all's children and children's children and grandchildren gonna come in prophesying and speaking. Come on here. They gonna come in mighty, mighty works, mighty. Come on. You are a leader in this movement, Joanna G. That's you. Come on here, MCP 812. You are leaders in this movement. Take the mantle. Stop struggling. Stop fighting. If my people, I need you to turn from your wicked ways. Because this is the blessing. When you turn from your wicked ways, and y'all know the means by which I'm saying wicked, I'm not in that old school, I'm in the new school. When you turn from your wicked ways, what's going to happen? You're going to hear from heaven. You're going to stop missing the mark, because that's what sin is. Sin is to miss the mark. You're going to stop missing the mark. You'll hear from heaven. God said, I'll forgive your missing the mark, and you'll stop missing the mark. And I'm going to heal the land. Do you hear what I'm saying? Then will you hear from heaven. I'll forgive your sin because you'll stop missing the mark. And I'm going to heal your land. And what's your land? Your mind, your body, your soul, your emotions, everything that deals with you. Your house, your family, your finances, everything that deals with you. He'll heal your land. Miracles, signs, your body. He'll heal your land. Miracles, signs, and wonders over your life. I hope y'all hear me talking today, because you're in the lion's den and you're a leader. I appreciate you. I love you so much. We'll be back at 6 o'clock. Yes, you with friends. I hope you all will take this word and copy that raid message. We're going somewhere. Thank you so much. Copy that raid message. We're going somewhere. But listen, accept the mantle. Stop running. Stop running. You've been running and running. Running for a long time. Listen, where do you stand? Who's on the Lord's side? I don't know about you, but I'm on the Lord's side. And I'm looking to see miracles, signs, and wonders over your lives. Why? Because you are leaders. I love you guys. I love you with the love of God. I hope that this has blessed you on today. Be strong and of good courage. Be strong and of good courage. Listen, you are all powerful. You are all powerful in love. Don't let anybody intimidate you. Don't let anybody sell you wolf tickets and back you down. Don't let anybody make you back up. Baby, you walk this thing and be strong in it. Be strong in the power of the Lord and of his might. You got on the whole armor. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. We like to party. Come on. Peace for your journey.
Uh-huh.